Li Chengfeng, who had originally planned to finally reach adulthood and go to the outside world, was kicked by his master and sent to a different world. Forget it, let's just go out of the world. It's okay, I've read a lot of novels, just enjoy it and it's done. However, this foreign world is different from what I thought. I want to kill my second senior sister, eat my first senior sister, and even the newly hired master's gaze at me is not right. Get up early in the morning, open the window, and think about how to run away today. Chapter 1. If the old Taoist doesn't talk about martial arts, just give me a kick when he comes up. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. A small border town in the northern part of China. It is already winter, and the whole city appears silent due to heavy snow. However, looking north, a Taoist temple in the suburbs was bustling with people and cigarettes. The Tianxin Temple, originally a Taoist temple with a reputation that did not rely heavily on government assistance, began to spread the reputation of sincerity, propriety, and blessings due to one incident. It is said that he was originally a wealthy man without children, who came with the last thought to offer incense and pray for blessings, and paid a considerable candle fee. 2 months later, his wife went to the hospital for a check-up and found out that she was pregnant. This is amazing, but even wealthy people are not foolish. They know their own problems and go for an appraisal, only to find out that it is really their own child. They think they have recovered from their illness, but upon examination, it is still not working. Then I remembered my last attempt 2 months ago. From then on, the Tianxin Temple took off from its original location, with wealthy individuals expressing themselves, and the Taoist temple gaining popularity. There were several similar cases, which could be called medical miracles. Domestic and foreign experts also came here to seek advice, but naturally, nothing was discovered. On the top of the back mountain, a tall and upright old Taoist stood in the wind, completely focused on his phone. Next to him was a tall and handsome little Taoist who stood half a step behind, his face slightly red as he peeked at the screen. This old man is not serious, he looks at these things and even secretly looks at them. Oh, the painting is so great, it's wonderful. Why is there nothing left behind? Tisk, perhaps it was interrupted in an exciting place, and the old Taoist was quite dissatisfied. Putting away his phone, the old Taoist looked straight into the distance and said, "Disciple, how long have we been here?" "It's been 3 years, master." The little Taoist thought without hesitation. "Have you memorized all the classics in the temple for 3 years? Back to back like a stream?" The little Taoist said with some pride. The little Taoist was picked up by the old Taoist and named Li Chengfeng. It seems from a book that the old Taoist said so. Since the age of 5, the old Taoist has been teaching him some strange things, and he has been soaking him in medicinal baths every day. The taste is not to mention, but the effect is surprisingly good. Nowadays, the little Taoist's body is strong but not too strong, which belongs to dressing thin and undressing meat. 3 years, yesterday was your 18th birthday, right? The old Taoist's gaze gradually became firm, and his tone also became more serious. Li Chengfeng had never seen an old Taoist like this before. Previously, saying that the old Taoist was not serious was not just empty talk, but there are specific examples. Including but not limited to, after reading this novel, I went to the neighboring temple to discuss Buddhism is the way, with the abbot from the opposite side. Originally, the abbot was very hospitable, but the old Taoist came here when he spoke. The abbot's face turned black at the time and he directly drove the old Taoist out. The old Taoist who came out of the temple was even more outstanding, so he turned around and went to the nearby nunnery. The next day, the Taoist temple members who received the call hurriedly went to the nunnery. When they arrived, the old Taoist had a pale face and could not stand up. Before leaving, the nuns were still looking at the old Taoist with tenderness. "Master Xianwei, come back when you have time to exchange Buddhist teachings." The old Taoist was carried back to the Taoist temple and rested for half a month before getting up, which is often used to make fun of the old Taoist. "Yes, Master. Yesterday was my 18th birthday, Li Chengfeng said excitedly. Excited? Of course I'm excited. 3 years ago, Li Chengfeng, who had been practicing with this old Taoist in the mountains for 10 years, entered the city for the first time. Chengfeng was instantly attracted by the crowded crowd, the busy traffic for the first time, and the towering buildings. It was still summer at that time, and everyone was dressed relatively coolly. Anyway, Chengfeng was attracted, and he was the same as a man since childhood. Then, he was abducted and sold. I remember that day was sunny, and the old Taoist asked Li Chengfeng not to walk around the station. He went to buy some oranges. A few human traffickers were squatting at the station and discovered Li Chengfeng. After all, children dressed in Taoist robes and with decent faces are still very rare. Originally, a few people didn't want to provoke a Taoist, but who knows if they have any real skills. But how could the old Taoist leave for a few hours? A few human traffickers are all hungry, and after discussing, they want to do something big. Then Chengfeng, who had just entered society and was not familiar with worldly affairs, was successfully deceived into this northern border city. The human trafficker's car was stopped by the police as soon as it passed the toll station. Then a few people looked bewildered as the old Taoist took Chengfeng away, educating him while walking. Did you see that? Be careful in the future, people's hearts are dangerous. What? Who has a wicked heart? Are you also considered a person? Do you have the ability to tell me earlier? How many fun are you teasing me? Several people looked at each other silently. Even so, it still cannot stop young people's longing for the metropolis. The old Taoist also saw that he had made an agreement with Li Chengfeng to stay at the Taoist temple until adulthood and to memorize the Taoist scriptures of the temple. Li Chengfeng has often gone downhill in the past 3 years, so he doesn't have to be as ignorant as before. Over the past 3 years, he has been absorbing information from classics and modern society like a sponge, surfing the internet with high intensity. I have to say I am a genius, as I can still recite back and forth like this. So master, can I go down the mountain now? Is it considered graduation? Even though I could see that the old Taoist was a bit different from usual, Li Chengfeng couldn't wait to ask. Ah, this day has finally arrived, the old Taoist sighed in rare relief. Li Chengfeng, who had never seen an old Taoist in a low mood before, also felt a bit uncomfortable in his heart. Master, are you reluctant to part with me? You don't need to do this. I'm just going out to sea, and it's not like not coming back. It's like going to college, isn't it? It always comes back. This is my home, Li Chengfeng comforted. Home, I also want to go home and take a look. The old Taoist murmured to himself, but Li Chengfeng did not hear him. The old Taoist restrained his emotions and his gaze became firm. It seems that your adult master hasn't arrived yet to give you something. He drank too much yesterday, and now he's giving it to you. Thank you. The emotion that was brewing just now instantly disappeared without a trace. I just wanted to quickly take something and leave here. The old Taoist handed over a simple and antique-style ring, made of a material resembling bronze and engraved with meaningful textures that Li Chengfeng couldn't understand. Looking very old, Li Chengfeng feels like an antique, but a bronze ring. Do bronze vessels have rings? Li Chengfeng is not sure. According to the style of the old Taoist, I guess he bought it from an antique stall. But it doesn't matter. It's also a little thoughtful. Wear it. I casually placed it on the ring finger of my left hand, not to mention, it really fits, as if it was tailor-made. The old Taoist looked at the ring on his ring finger and hesitated to speak, then lowered his raised hand. What's wrong, master? It's very suitable. Li Chengfeng asked with some confusion. The old Taoist's face seemed to be like eating huanglian, with an indescribable feeling of bitterness. It's okay, as long as you think it's suitable. Master, do you have anything else you want to give me? As the saying goes, from poor to wealthy, it's not a small amount of 12,000 yuan and not a large amount of 1.8 million yuan. Li Chengfeng asked with an expectant expression on his face. What? Okay, you took the ring and asked me for money. You don't even understand the value of this ring. I originally wanted to be gentle, but it seems that you prefer excitement. The old Taoist couldn't wait anymore. Master, what are you talking about? Li Chengfeng was puzzled again. I always feel that today's master is very strange. Is it because my disciple is about to travel far away and his mentality is unstable? Apprentice, I will send you another item as a gift from my teacher. I hope you will like it. Okay, master, what is it? Li Chengfeng said in a good mood. Take you on your way. What? Listen, this old man is not serious. My disciple is about to go down the mountain, so why don't you tell me this? Forget it, this is the master, it's the master, endure it. Master, I'm about to go down the mountain. Is it somewhat unlucky for you to say this? Li Chengfeng tried his best to speak calmly. We cultivators, why do we still believe in these things? We must believe in science. The old Taoist scolded the foolish disciple. This old Taoist doesn't talk about any professional ethics, it's just that. Master, take care, I'm going back to pack my things. Li Chengfeng's face remained calm as he prepared to turn around and leave. Wait a moment, disciple. Stand up and come to me. Li Chengfeng, who was planning to leave, stopped and walked calmly to the old Taoist. He needs to maintain his mood. Today is a good day to go down the mountain and cannot be destroyed by the old Taoist. So he decided not to resist, say whatever it is, and leave as soon as it's done. The old Taoist is facing the cliff, and now Li Chengfeng is in front of him. Oh, there is still some distance from the cliff. Why are you in such a hurry? I told you, I'll take you on the road, let's go. The old Taoist flew up and hit Li Chengfeng's buttocks. You, who never dies of old age, Li Chengfeng fell into the misty mountain stream. The old Taoist silently looked at the cliff for a while before taking out his phone. Zhu, I heard you came with new tea. Yes, 2 people. I and the abbot of the neighboring temple must be new. Otherwise, the abbot won't pay. The old Taoist stumbled down the mountain. Chapter 2. Beauty and the Beast. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wake up. Quickly. Wake up, who? Who is calling me? The dense forest, speckled with sunlight shining on Li Chengfeng's face. Old and immortal. Li Chengfeng suddenly sat up in shock and assumed a defensive posture. Looking at the surroundings, Li Chengfeng fell into a daze and looked left and right. Where is this? I'm okay. Did someone call me just now? It seems like there isn't. Maybe you heard me wrong. Li Chengfeng did not notice that a faint stream of light flashed through the ring. Check your whole body up and down, there are no injuries, only a few leaves hanging on your body. Make an effort to recall, but the last sentence left a deep impression on you. You're not old enough to die. You're waiting for me to go back and leave. Look, I won't beat you. This joke is not funny at all. Li Chengfeng said with resentment. The old Taoist has been joking more than once, and Li Chengfeng doesn't care. It's just a bit excessive this time. I should have fallen to the foot of the mountain, but it turned out to be okay. It's truly me. Let's first find the way up the mountain. I wandered around for half a circle. No, is this below the back mountain? I've been there before, something's wrong. Where is this? Li Chengfeng scratched his head in confusion. Hello, is anyone there? Li Chengfeng shouted loudly. There are only birds and insects chirping around. Sigh, keep looking for the way. This search led to the sun setting. Li Chengfeng sat on a large stone brought in, lost in thought as he watched the 2 rabbits roasting on the campfire in front of him. This place is not right, it's not right. The sky was getting dark, and Li Chengfeng was also hungry. He was preparing to hunt some game when he turned his head and saw 2 rabbits. Seeing the joy of the hunt, the crow flew forward directly, and with one move, the crow flew over the rabbit's head and crashed into a tree. I was dizzy from the collision, and the rabbit also ran away. Li Chengfeng was also confused. He knew that his physical fitness was good, but he wasn't so good either. He went hunting in the mountains not once or twice. It took off without even exerting force. I have no choice but to spend some time readjusting to the changes in my body. If I want to study, I must first fill my stomach. So, the rabbit was roasted, and Li Chengfeng began to study. Firstly, the strength has increased, the explosive power has also increased, and even the auditory and visual senses have become much more sensitive. Strange, very strange, is this the foot of the mountain, or did you say that you have traveled on your own? But there is no system to come knocking on the door, nor is there a golden finger. The surrounding woods are also known trees, even the rabbit is exactly the same, and its fragrance is the same. Wildlife is one of the basic skills. Think about the training provided by the old Taoist, which used to be a common situation. By the way, was this also arranged by the old Taoist? For the first time, Li Chengfeng began to doubt whether the old Taoist was really looking dishonest as he appeared. Roar, what sound? The distant roar interrupted Li Chengfeng's thinking. This sounds like the call of a wild beast, go take a look. This big night is a bit dangerous. The surge in physical fitness and the curiosity of young people drove Li Chengfeng towards that direction. Getting closer, not only roaring, but also the sound of iron weapons clashing with sharp claws and piercing flesh and blood. Is there anyone else? Fighting against fierce beasts. Is it so fierce? Pushing aside the bushes, there is a pool of water, and the bright moonlight reflects on the surface of the lake, shimmering with waves. On the shore, the moon was as bright as water. A woman in white clothes and hair flew down from the sky, holding a strangely shaped long spear. The celestial beings danced in the blue sky, and the cold spear pierced the stars and landed on the earth. The spear pointed into her head, and the beast was nailed to the ground before even making a sound. After killing the beast, the woman seemed to lose her strength and didn't even pull out her long spear, falling backwards to the ground. Li Chengfeng was stunned, as if watching a movie. After waiting for a moment, I realized and quickly ran to the woman to see if she was injured. After a look at the beast, it looks like a tiger, but it has a pair of meat wings on its back, which looks like swine in the myth, but some descriptions are not right. Walking close, it can be said to be shocking. Broken clothes. On the pure white snow, a dazzling bright red color caught the eye, accompanied by 2 pink peach blossoms. Li Chengfeng didn't know whether to be ashamed or shocked. Upon careful examination, bone is visible in the deep wound, and 2 sternum bones are also broken. Is this still alive? Li Chengfeng was shocked in his heart, seeing this kind of injury for the first time. In the past, when practicing, I often suffered from injuries of various sizes, but it was never so serious. I reached out to check my pulse, but there's still a pulse. Leaving the big score. This I felt something unusual about the situation. The tiger was not right, and the woman was also not right. She reached out to pull out her long gun, but with all her strength, she remained motionless. This long gun is not even right. I used to weigh 200 pounds with one hand. Now my strength is even greater, I can't even pull out my hands. The situation is not right, run away quickly. The rabbit will soon burn and become less delicious. Li Chengfeng had just turned around and wanted to run when he heard a thud from behind. Like the sound of a heartbeat, Li Chengfeng's heart also slowed down, his breathing became slightly faster, and cold sweat appeared on his forehead. What's the situation again? The originally beautiful lake under the moon now feels eerie and gloomy with gusts of wind. Following the routine of horror movies, I should start running and at least die slowly. But unfortunately, Li Chengfeng slowly turned around and chose the fastest way to die. At some point, the woman in white stood up and grabbed the long spear inserted into the tiger's head with her left hand. Her eyes flickered with a dangerous red light, staring straight at Li Chengfeng. The flesh and blood on the chest are wriggling, probably recovering, and the bones are no longer visible. The look in Li Chengfeng's eyes, like a vengeful soul seeking his life, made his scalp tingle, and his flesh and blood wriggled, causing stomach acid to soften his entire body. "Auntie, girl," I said, "I'll come and take a look. I didn't do anything, do you believe me?" Li Chengfeng was sweating profusely and his throat was hoarse, unsure if he had made any sound. The woman clearly didn't believe it and continued to stare at Li Chengfeng, but the gun-wielding hand exerted some force. Li Chengfeng clearly saw that the spear was piercing deeper. The situation froze, Li Chengfeng dared not move, and the woman seemed unwilling to move either. "Very good, that's it. If you don't move, I won't either." What a mess. Do I dare to move? Li Chengfeng's mind is spinning wildly. There was a stalemate for about a few minutes, and Li Chengfeng came over and tried to quietly move his steps. About 2 meters away, Li Chengfeng thought it was just when he escaped. The woman moved and let out a sharp cry, causing Li Chengfeng to cover her ears, turn around, and run. Turning around while running, a huge shadow hit Li Chengfeng. "Mom, the little girl doesn't talk about martial arts and even throws flying props." Li Chengfeng waved his dog to eat and lay on the ground. The tiger corpse flew over against the back of his head, smashing several big trees that the two of them were embracing. "This tiger is so sturdy." Li Chengfeng estimated that 80% of his flight would directly split into two. Li Chengfeng didn't even look at the sound of breaking the wind from the rear. Old Dager, glutinous rice rolls with sweet bean flour, rolled away from the position just now. With a loud bang, the long gun hit the spot just now, causing a burst of smoke and dust. Li Chengfeng was afraid in his heart, and his desire to survive stimulated his body's potential. He got up and ran towards the campfire at the fastest speed in his life. Even if you die, you must be a starving ghost. Rushing to the campfire, there was no rabbit left, it had already been picked up and run away. Li Chengfeng's mentality is a bit unstable. A new life is about to begin. What's going on here? I was kicked out for no reason, half starved to death, and had some food stolen. Kind-hearted to check the wound, but also targeted by a female monster. Listening to the rumbling sound of uprooting mountains and trees behind him, and looking at the quietly burning flames in front of him, Li Chengfeng did not notice that the ring was emitting a faint light. At this moment, Li Chengfeng entered a mysterious state, as if it was his own idea or not, but it was not important. Running is also death, turn around and fuck her. Sudden confidence in the mystery. Above his head was a long spear thrown by a woman, and Li Chengfeng seemed to have fired the entire picture, slightly avoiding the gunpoint. Before the attack could land, Li Chengfeng exerted force under his feet, with his waist and horse in one, and hit the iron mountain with one strike. The previously graceful and fierce heavenly flying immortal is now just a monster that only knows about brute force. The middle door is wide open and is knocked open, full of energy. Perhaps the wound had not healed, but it was hit hard. The spear was released and the body flew backwards. Li Chengfeng picked up the gun with ease, and now he feels that the long gun, which he couldn't hold before, weighs just right. Without much thought, the tip of the gun turned and threw it directly at the woman. Her body was like a bow, her arms were like strings, and her strength was so great that the ground beneath her feet was slightly sunken. The woman was stabbed in the air and the long spear penetrated before flying straight into the lake. With the idea of repairing the knife, Li Chengfeng ran towards the woman. The woman collapsed by the lake, and this time her wound was even bigger. Li Chengfeng saw the woman lying by the lake and wanted to quickly go over and repair her knife. But it may be due to the excessive burst of potential, exhaustion of strength, and the body starting to collapse before approaching. Isn't it? At this point, you tell me you're running out of energy. Body, you can stand still for a while. Before falling into a coma, Li Chengfeng finally noticed the shimmer of the ring. What? This is Golden Finger, you arrived a bit late. Chapter 3. Tianxin Sect. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. After Li Chengfeng fainted, the woman in white was heavily injured again and collapsed by the lake. The injury she suffered this time was even more serious than before. As if gravity had failed, the woman floated up, her white hair spreading out without wind, and the crimson in her eyes became even stronger. Black air seeped through her white clothes, and flesh and blood wriggled through the large hole in her chest. Raise your left hand. A long gun burst through the lake and flew into my hand. The woman flew up to Li Chengfeng, with a long spear in her hand about to be pierced. Suddenly, thousands of red threads burst out of the red rope on her right hand, trapping the woman. The scattered black energy was also absorbed by the red thread, and the red light in her eyes gradually dissipated, gradually restoring clarity. The wound quickly healed, and the red thread returned to her wrist. The woman fell to the ground and shook her head. Ah, have you lost control again? The woman murmured to herself. The woman finally noticed Li Chengfeng in front of her. Killed. The woman was taken aback. Hurriedly approaching to check, I found that it was only after losing strength and fainting that I finally felt relieved. He should have seen me lose control, and since he has lost his strength, it means he has engaged in a fight with me. It seems that this person is also a cultivator, so why is he a bit familiar with me? The woman thought for a moment, took out a portrait from the storage ring, and compared it. What a coincidence. I didn't expect to meet you here. After confirming that the man in front of her was the person she was looking for, the woman took out the recovery pill and stuffed it into Li Chengfeng's mouth, then gave him a few sips of water. Watching Li Chengfeng's face gradually return to normal, the woman also calmed down and sat quietly beside him, holding her knees and watching Li Chengfeng fall asleep in front of her. A gust of night wind blew by, and her chest felt a chill. It was only then that the woman realized that her clothes were shattered and the spring dew was shining brightly. Hurriedly covering up, her pretty face blushed slightly, and she glanced at Li Chengfeng. He should have seen it, right? The woman's eyes narrowed slightly, but there was no displeasure. After all, the scene just now should not have the intention to watch these. After changing her clothes, she sat down next to Li Chengfeng and looked at the lake reflecting the moon. The woman remained silent. There was nothing to say overnight. The cool morning breeze blew by, and Li Chengfeng was startled to wake up, standing up in a daze. Witch! Let's fight again. Li Chengfeng shouted loudly. There was no witch in front of me, only mist swirling around the lake. The early bird calls, and the two small water-drinking beasts by the lake glanced at Li Chengfeng like fools before continuing to drink water. The scene was a bit awkward. Wake up. A pleasant and cool voice came from my ear. Li Chengfeng turned his head and quickly retreated a few meters to form a defensive posture. Yao, 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 Yao girl, don't come over. Li Chengfeng stuttered a bit. The woman stood up and bowed to Li Chengfeng. Yesterday's incident had a reason, and Cold Frost apologized here. I hope you don't take it amiss. Don't take it seriously. If it weren't for the golden finger, I would have died yesterday. Don't just do whatever you want just because you look beautiful. Li Chengfeng glanced at the ring and then looked at the woman across from him. The woman is indeed very beautiful, with clear and bright pupils, curved willow eyebrows, and long eyelashes trembling slightly. Her skin is fair and flawless, and her thin lips are like rose petals, bright red and charming. 3,000 white threads are scattered freely, and a white outfit further enhances her temperament. Even if Li Chengfeng was full of guard, he couldn't help but feel tempted, but even if he was tempted, his life was still important. Since the girl is fine now, I'll say goodbye. Seeing Li Chengfeng wanting to run away, Leng Shuang had no choice but to take out a picture scroll. Young master, wait a moment. Let's take a look at this portrait first before it's too late. Li Chengfeng looked at the woman in front of him as if she was really different from last night. He boldly took the portrait and looked around. You look so familiar, the more you look, the more familiar you look, and you look a bit handsome. After all, it's ink painting, emphasizing freehand brushwork. Can you tell who the person in this painting is, young master? A bit familiar, Li Chengfeng rubbed his chin. It's you, said Cold Frost calmly. Ah. Upon hearing her say this, Li Chengfeng looked carefully again and found that it did look a bit like himself. He then ran to the lake and took a closer look through his reflection, and it was indeed himself. How could you have my portrait? Li Chengfeng asked in confusion. This is what my master gave me before I went down the mountain, saying that if I had the chance to meet this person, I would quickly bring them back to the sect. Cold Frost spoke truthfully. Why bring it back to the sect? Do your master know me? I don't know now. So, can you please return to the sect with me, young master? Cold Frost tentatively asked. If he didn't want to go with him, he could only use some tough means. Can I not go? To be honest, Li Chengfeng was a bit eager to go, but also a bit hesitant to go. The other party took out his portrait to show that he must have known him. Li Chengfeng had already confirmed that he had traveled, and it was much safer to be led by someone than to run around for the first time. But he was not sure if the other party had any ill intentions. After all, the woman's performance last night really scared him a lot. Cold Frost didn't want to get rough either, so he could only advise again, young master, don't worry. I am a disciple of the Xuanmiao Immortal of the Tianxin sect in Zhongzhou. I am currently serving in the Demon Control Department of the Great Zhou Dynasty. Last night, there was a reason for the situation, and I hope young master doesn't take it amiss. After speaking, take out 2 tokens, one with the town character written on it and the other with the sky character written on it. Li Chengfeng couldn't distinguish the authenticity of this token, but as he looked at Leng Shuang pouring beans into his house and presenting physical evidence, it didn't seem like he was being deceived. Although he didn't know to deceive him, Li Chengfeng decided to take a gamble and starve the brave to death. Since that's the case, let's go with the girl. That's what I said, but I still kept a safe distance from Cold Frost. Cold Frost also knows what happened last night and doesn't care about it. A small boat suddenly appeared in front of the 2 people. Oh. Storage ring. Li Chengfeng remained calm, but his heart was already filled with envy. After looking at the ring in my hand, is this mine? I don't know what this ring is for. Li Chengfeng remembered the glory of the ring last night and was once again convinced that the old Taoist was not simple. Looking at the obvious single boat in front of him, Li Chengfeng was a bit conflicted. It was getting a bit close. In the end, the 2 of them boarded the small boat, with the woman operating the boat from behind and Li Chengfeng sitting in front of him. Young master, sit still. The small boat slowly took off, and Li Chengfeng felt a little excited in his heart. He had never even flown a plane before, and he didn't expect that the first time he ascended to the sky, he was riding a flying tool and raised it to a sufficient height. The small boat accelerated, but Li Chengfeng couldn't sit firmly and fell backwards. The small boat is not very big either, it is a single-person aircraft. Cold Frost was controlling the magic weapon without paying attention or carrying anyone else. Li Chengfeng hit the snow peak with the back of his head, feeling a wave of softness. Cold Frost, who was attacked, was also momentarily stunned. Li Chengfeng quickly sat upright, feeling a bit awkward. Sorry. It's okay. Cold Frost felt the touch just now and blushed to her neck for a moment, but she didn't say anything. The saying goes, I feel a little dizzy and red-tide, and my heart is only a phoenix. It's vivid. Li Chengfeng also blushed and didn't dare to look back at the beautiful scenery with rosy clouds all over the sky. Cough cough, don't always call me young master, Miss Leng. My name is Li Chengfeng, who rose up in the wind. Miss Leng just calls me Li Chengfeng. Li Chengfeng wants to shift the topic. Cold Frost had no intention of pursuing it, and with a soft he remained speechless. Did Cold Girl give me something to eat? Li Chengfeng didn't feel hungry, and there was still a refreshing fragrance in his mouth. He didn't think he had eaten anything else narcissistically. I saw that you were tired and took the Pigu pill for you. Oh, having just experienced an awkward situation, Li Chengfeng didn't know what to say. He was young and had never experienced such a situation before. The speed of the flying boat is very fast. Normally, it should be a strong wind blowing in the face, but Li Chengfeng didn't feel it at all. It should be a built-in function of the flying boat, and his heart could only sigh with wonder. After a while, Li Chengfeng's mood calmed down and he began to look at the scenery below. Located in the sky, looking out, there are dense forests, and in the distance, mountains and steep ridges stretch endlessly. Looking ahead, there is a huge canyon with a turbulent river below. Entering the canyon, the light dimmed, and the starry spots on both sides of the mountain walls seemed to be some glowing plants. Occasionally, one could also see the cultivators guarding swords recording something in front of the plants. Miss Leng, are these? Li Chengfeng couldn't help but ask. Cold Frost also returned to calmness. These are the Sect's pharmacists who come to Tianxin Gorge every once in a while to record the year, location, and collection of some newly born Yulon flowers. Yew orchid. Yes, the Yulon flower only grows in the Tianxin Gorge, and cannot be cultivated artificially. It relies entirely on the wild. The Yulon flower itself is highly toxic, but it can be used in conjunction with the flame fruit of the burning flame valley to make a deadly pill. Cold Frost patiently explained to cover up the embarrassment. Passing through the dark canyon, it suddenly became clear. In front of me is a complex of ancient buildings, seemingly disorderly yet interconnected. From a high altitude, there are certain patterns that form a large formation. This time, the old Taoist taught me. Heavenly Heart Demon Subduing Formation. It is used to trap certain things, and when learning, Li Chengfeng even sneered and didn't believe it. Now he believes in Tianxin Sect, no wonder it's called this name. It seems that the old Taoist has a connection with this sect. The flying boat stopped on an open space outside the mountain gate, which looked like an apron. There are 2 or 3 disciples around, who come up to salute when they see Cold Frost. Senior Sister Leng. Cold Frost nodded nonchalantly, and the disciples around him seemed accustomed to leaving to do things. Li Chengfeng was as indifferent as air beside him. Miss Leng, didn't they see me? Li Chengfeng felt a bit strange. I saw it, but they wouldn't ask because I brought you back, said Cold Frost naturally. What's the solution? They are afraid of making me angry. Ah. You will know in the future. Li Chengfeng didn't ask anymore. Thinking back to last night, he wasn't sure if it was because of this, but he didn't feel like it was. It was obvious that it wasn't in a normal state, or rather, it wasn't even personal. Now come with me to see my master. Li Chengfeng followed Cold Frost all the way forward. Before he could change his Taoist robe, he didn't look out of place in his dark blue Taoist robe. He wore clothes of any color and style, which seemed to be a sect uniform. Those in black are the disciples of the Law Enforcement Hall, those in red are the Childcare Department, and those in blue are the Tonic Diet Hall. These 3 are the main entrances. You can get to know the others slowly, and the pharmacist is an external employee. Leng Shuang nodded to greet the disciples from time to time, and casually explained to Li Chengfeng. Where is Cold Girl from? I don't have any affiliations at the moment. I won't come back to be assigned to Tanko until my term at the Demon Control Bureau ends. Term? What do you mean? what did you mean by the Great Zhou dynasty before? Without impatience, Leng Shuang continued, the Zhou dynasty was the only empire on the mainland of Zhongzhou, and there were also 4 continents separated by the sea around it. We will talk about this later. As Leng Shuang was about to continue, a man in white walked up, with a tall figure and a national face, looking extraordinary in martial arts. Senior Brother Gu. Cold Frost bowed. Cold Junior Sister. The man also saluted. What's the matter with Sister Leng returning to the sect? Who is this? The man looked at Li Chengfeng with some curiosity in his eyes, but he had no other emotions. Will there be a bloody plot of jealousy towards my junior sister, where a stranger stumbles and gets slapped in the face by me? Li Chengfeng had some ungrateful thoughts. Before Li Chengfeng could speak, Leng Shuang picked it up. This is the person that the master instructed me to look for. I brought it back specifically and will return to the Demon Control Bureau later. Oh, this way, then you can take him quickly. I'll come back and pick up some things. There's a tricky case, let's go. Not dragging mud or water at all. Miss Leng, who is this? Li Chengfeng asked as he looked at the man's back. Gu Qifeng, who ranked first in the sect competition 10 years ago, was accepted as a disciple by the sect leader. So impressive. So, how many places are you in? Li Chengfeng joked. Third, Cold Frost paid no attention at all. What about the second one? My senior sister, are you a master? No, my senior sister and I are the 3 elders of the Presbyterian Society. Here we are. There is a large hall in front, with its doors tightly closed. Leng Shuang walked forward and respectfully said, Master, the person in the painting has been found by the disciple. Bring me to see Master. Shuanger, come in first and let him wait outside for a moment. A sweet and seductive voice came in. Li Chengfeng said that the sound was a bit difficult to handle. Cold Frost pushed the door in, and through the gap, Li Chengfeng only saw a curtain, a pink veil fluttering, and a figure seemed to be inside. The palace door closed. Master, I have brought you here. I plan to repair for a day and then return to the Demon Control Department, said Cold Frost, bowing slightly away from the curtain. I don't seem to want to get too close. Shuanger is so far away, I'm afraid my master won't succeed if he eats you. Hurry up and let my master take a good look. I've been away for 5 years and haven't come back. You're so heartless, obedient disciple. Her voice was a bit angry, but more of a spoiled one. Jinhua Si's affairs are busy and he doesn't have time to come back to visit. I hope master doesn't mind, said Leng Shuang, feeling even less inclined to approach. Alas, my disciple has grown up and I don't care about my master anymore. Have you forgotten that when you were a child, you always followed behind me and shouted, Master, Master? His voice was a bit sad. Master, I was young and immature at that time, so don't mention it again. Cold Frost seemed a bit embarrassed, her cheeks slightly red. Well, Leng Shuang's master has a more rebellious personality. Leng Shuang couldn't stand his master's excessive intimacy and decided to avoid it. Hee, you're still shy, Shuanger is still as cute as before. The voice became happy again. Shuanger, I have assigned you a task as my teacher. Her voice became somewhat serious. Master, hello. In a few days, it will be a big competition in the sect. Your senior sister won't come back this time. Go and defeat Gu Qifeng. It was very casual. Yes, Master, Leng Shuang answered naturally, as if she didn't even consider the other person as a person. There's one more thing. Master, please speak up. After the competition, when you return to the Demon Control Department, I will also send Li Chengfeng over. Find a chance and kill him. His tone remained lazy, but his words were as cold as ice. What? Cold Frost was surprised in her heart, and she didn't resist much. In recent years, there have been many demons killed in the demon control department, but more of them are still more terrifying than demons. Surprised. There's no need for that. You'll know then. Go ahead and call Li Chengfeng over. Yes, master. Even though she was very surprised in her heart, Ling Shuang still didn't ask. She knew her master well. Although she hadn't returned to the sect to see him in these years, the master would always send messages asking her to kill some people. At first, she would have doubts, but later, the investigation found that they were all heinous. Over time, Ling Shuang also became accustomed to the master's deadly command. I think it's the same this time. Alas, those used to be strangers, but this time, although we have known each other for a short time, she feels that Li Chengfeng should be a good person. The feeling of Ling Shuang has always been very accurate, which has been verified over the years, so there is some confusion. Upon leaving the palace gate and seeing Li Chengfeng looking around, Ling Shuang's heart became even more conflicted. Master, let you in. Cold Frost looked at Li Chengfeng with a strange expression in her eyes. Cold girl, what's wrong? Li Chengfeng felt a little uneasy when he was seen. It's nothing, let's go in. Oh, good. Li Chengfeng pushed the door in, and Cold Frost looked at Li Chengfeng's back and didn't know what she was thinking. Chapter 4. Enthusiastic Master Uncle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Chengfeng enters the hall, looking at the pink gauze curtain, a bit absent-minded. The interior decoration in this joyful style, combined with the seductive sound just now, made Li Chengfeng dare not imagine what kind of stunning beauty this frosty master would be. I think so, but Li Chengfeng still didn't show it on his face and remained cold and steady. Li Chengfeng has met a senior, and I don't know where he got my portrait. Do you know me? Li Chengfeng arched his hand and lowered his gaze. Wait for a moment without any response. Li Chengfeng was a bit puzzled, but he thought it was a deliberate test from his seniors. He didn't make a sound anymore, just stood quietly, observing the situation inside the room, thinking about how to run and get caught. It was more handsome. There is no way, although there is a high possibility of no danger, it cannot be ruled out, after all, following is just a gamble. As the quiet time grew longer and longer, Li Chengfeng's mood also became heavier. Sometimes, death is not scary, but the process of waiting for death is incredibly agonizing. Li Chengfeng is now experiencing the agony of waiting. After waiting for about an hour, Li Chengfeng couldn't help it anymore. Senior. Li Chengfeng asked tentatively. The sound was not loud, but Li Chengfeng was sure she could hear it. No response. I shouted tentatively twice again, but still didn't respond. Li Chengfeng's courage gradually increased, coupled with the rebellious mentality of the young man. Li Chengfeng had a bold idea. He's going forward to take a look. Slowly moving footsteps, trying not to make any noise. As they got closer, Li Chengfeng's heart was beating faster and faster. Before reaching the tent, the general outline inside can already be seen through the light gauze. With a graceful posture, even with such beautiful contours, Li Chengfeng couldn't imagine what his true appearance was like. Opening the veil, the first thing that catches the eye is a pair of eyes. What kind of gaze is that? Like ripples of water, it exudes a hint of melancholy amidst its allure, making one involuntarily intoxicated. However, Li Chengfeng's eyes had already caused a huge shock in his heart. His perspective was relaxed, and his figure was graceful, like a painting full of charm. Her slender figure and plump curves complement each other, giving her a unique elegance. The pink dress and the immense pressure on her upper body also make the clothes unbearable. Especially at this moment, lying lazily on the side of the bed adds more charm. Charm and elegance complement each other, creating a natural combination. Li Chengfeng was stunned and his face turned red unconsciously. The jade finger moved lightly, and Li Chengfeng's eyes also moved accordingly. His gaze returned to his stunning appearance, and his finger touched his vermilion lips. A soft moan brought Li Chengfeng back to his senses. In an instant, I was sweating profusely, my face turned pale, and my legs felt a bit weak. What did I do? Why am I here? Should I be under the flowers in the backyard the next second? Xia Chengfeng, when did you learn to change your face? It's really beautiful. The woman chuckled lightly, her delicate face blooming. Ah! Li Chengfeng was completely confused. The woman stared at Li Chengfeng's face, her cheeks slightly rosy, and her breathing was also somewhat rapid. It seems that after enduring for a long time, I finally couldn't help it anymore. I extended my arms and pulled Li Chengfeng directly onto the couch, tightly embracing his head, putting him under immense pressure. Li Chengfeng's eyes darkened and he could see nothing, except for the bone-etching aroma that penetrated his nose like he didn't need money. Xiao Chengfeng, senior uncle misses you so much, the woman said happily. While speaking, he swayed and sank deeper. Ah! Senior uncle. When did I have a senior uncle? The junior sister of the old Taoist. Is it so outrageous? Woo-woo, woo-woo, woo-woo. Li Chengfeng couldn't say anything and could only woo-woo. He waved his hands randomly, occasionally touching things he shouldn't have touched, which made the woman's cheeks even redder. Xia Chengfeng, don't move around, you've all touched it, the woman said coquettishly. Upon hearing this, Li Chengfeng finally stood still. Li Chengfeng's chaotic breathing also made the woman tremble. Xiao Chengfeng, why did you come? Senior uncle misses you so much. When I was a child, I even hugged you. You were only a little older at that time, and I even went to secretly see you a few times. Unfortunately, that old and immortal senior brother didn't let me see you. The woman said angrily, hugging even harder. Oh my, Xia Chengfeng, why are you moving around again? Don't move, if you move again, senior uncle will be angry. He said he was angry, but his tone of indulgence was not concealed. Then Li Chengfeng really didn't move. Master uncle chattered on about his longing for a few minutes, only to find that Li Chengfeng had no reaction. He let go of his arm and saw Li Chengfeng's face, which had already turned into a purple color. Chengfeng. Xia Chengfeng, what's wrong with you? Don't scare senior uncle, why are you out of breath? Xia Chengfeng. Senior uncle anxiously shook Li Chengfeng as his consciousness gradually faded away. I can't catch my breath, it smells so good, it's so difficult to breathe. I seem to have seen light, as if I have seen my parents whom I have never met before. A beautiful voice can be heard in my ear, it's heaven opening your eyes, it's a strange ceiling. The soft touch comes from the back of your head, so comfortable. Is this heaven? I didn't expect to survive in another world for only 2 days. This should be the fastest death record for me. Li Chengfeng is having wild thoughts. A huge shadow appeared before his eyes, and Li Chengfeng instinctively trembled. Xia Chengfeng, you have woken up. You are truly a young man. You can sleep right away. I only heard his voice, but I did not see him. Li Chengfeng reacted and suddenly sat up. While avoiding the shadow, he accidentally bumped into it, causing a jolt. Shishu stopped shaking and looked at Li Chengfeng angrily. Xia Chengfeng, why are you in such a hurry? You can't do it yet, you have to wait a little longer. What are you waiting for? What does it mean I'm in a hurry? I don't even know what I'm going to do. Li Chengfeng instinctively moved a little further away from his senior uncle. Chengfeng, what are you doing so far away from Shishu? Said Shishu displeased. After saying that, he leaned up again, but this time he didn't hold the top of the mountain anymore, just hugged his arm and leaned his head on Li Chengfeng's shoulder. Senior uncle, you are too enthusiastic, let alone the incompatibility between men and women. Li Chengfeng felt the sense of wrapping his arm and said with some happy distress. Upon hearing this, Shishu pushed Li Chengfeng away and said with a sad expression, okay, Xia Chengfeng despised Shishu, didn't he? Shishu even hugged you when he was a child. You little heartless, you were only a little older then. Let's keep talking endlessly. Li Chengfeng is already numb. Okay, my mistake, I don't know for sure. Quickly return to his original position, put his arms back in place, press his senior uncle's head on his shoulder, and calmly and sincerely say, Master, I was wrong. Just be happy. Well, that's right, this is Uncle Shi's good child. Uncle Shi smiled again. Epsilon equals, Omicron asterisk, woman. Master, let's talk about the main matter. Hey. Isn't this the right thing now? Chengfeng doesn't need to do anything, just be obedient and make a toy that won't move by my side. His tone became somewhat pathological. Li Chengfeng felt a little uneasy in his heart. What's wrong with this martial uncle? Cough cough, what I'm saying is, how did you know I would come here? Besides, do you know my master Xian Wei Zhenren, or his junior sister? Did you two plan for me to come here? Li Chengfeng asked calmly. I should have really asked about the main matter, and my senior uncle stopped making a fuss. He said seriously, Xiao Chengfeng, I believe you must have seen that the entire base of my Tianxin sect is a large formation when you came. Yes, the heavenly heart demon subduing formation. My master taught me before, and when I saw this formation, I knew he had a relationship with the heavenly heart sect. So what is the relationship? Since that's the case, you should also know what this formation is for. That's right, the entire Tianxin sect's current base is a sealing formation. Our mountain gate was not here before, it was only for the purpose of sealing her that it was placed here again. Our senior sister, 20 years ago, in search of a breakthrough opportunity, was sent a wrong message by someone with intentions and entered the demon abyss. However, she did not expect it to be a conspiracy of the demon sect. Although the senior sister thwarted the conspiracy and killed all the ambushed cultivators, she was also possessed by the demonic energy, unable to control herself and causing trouble. The senior uncle felt a little depressed and lowered her head. Li Chengfeng couldn't help but pat her shoulder as a sign of comfort. Uncle cast an ambiguous gaze and continued speaking. The master who heard the news led us to find the senior sister. Xuanfa's senior brother, who is now the leader, suggested that the master kill the senior sister. If we continue to be virtuous, not only will the common people suffer, but the reputation of Tianxin sect will also decline again and again. However, Xian Wei's senior brother, your master, disagrees and believes that we should first trap the senior sister before finding a solution. Senior sister is very kind to us. We are 9 brothers and sisters, but in the face of right and wrong, we always have to make a choice. In the end, 2 agree and 6 disagree. Master is a kind person who took the situation back to senior sister with ease. Who else agrees, so cold-blooded? It's me. Shishu did the right thing, and he constantly rebelled against it. Shishu is a person who does great things. The hero didn't take immediate losses and should be encouraged. Humph was given a blank glance. Cough cough, what's up, senior uncle? Li Chengfeng walked back and pinched senior uncle's shoulder. In fact, at that time, senior sister had already committed a lot of wrongdoing, and various major sects were coming to seek justice. However, due to the master's strength, she didn't dare to go too far and just stood in a stalemate for a few days. A few days later, the master summoned us to a meeting, which established our current dominant position of Tianxin sect in the mainland of Zhongzhou. The plan was proposed by senior brother Xian Wei. I don't know how he convinced senior brother Xuanfa and master. Senior brother Xuanfa is an honest person, and master is a kind person. I thought they wouldn't agree to this plan, but they both agreed to it throughout the meeting. Senior brother Xuanwei's plan is to use the divine spirit pill to further strengthen the combat power of the demonic senior sister. In a short period of time, she will be on par with the master, and then release the senior sister to kill all the backbone forces of various major sections. The master and we will assist from the side and win the battle in one fell swoop. Ah, this is what that old and unscrupulous person can do. Is it so ruthless? Recalling the events at that time, the senior uncle's tone unconsciously became harsh. Li Chengfeng's hand pinching his shoulder unconsciously turned into a caress. That battle lasted for 5 days and nights. We notified the Zhou dynasty in advance and asked them to be prepared to take over the land privately occupied by various sections. We don't know if senior brother Xianwei initiated it temporarily or had planned it beforehand. The whole process went surprisingly smoothly, and our cooperation with the Zhou dynasty was also very tacit. However, at that time, senior brother Xianwei also said not to take action against the demon sect and the demon clan. It was strange at the time, but the master also tacitly agreed, so we could only follow suit. Now, thinking about it, this is senior brother's brilliance. When only our Tianxin sect remained dominant in Zhongzhou, who would be the enemy of the Zhou dynasty? It could only be us. So we must leave behind an enemy who is more despicable than us but not as strong as us, the demon sect and the demon clan. So, now there is only one super large group left in the mainland of China, our Tianxin sect. Senior sister has been locked up again, and senior brother Xianwei is a hero. However, since then, master and senior brother Xuanfa have also distanced themselves from him, until a year later. Another meeting, senior brother Xianwei is not here. The master said he has an important task and told us that the sect will be relocated. She will step down as the head and be inherited by senior brother Xuanfa. At that time, we were all in the dark, but the master didn't say anything, and senior brother Xuanfa didn't say anything. We can only investigate on our own, but we can't find anything. After arriving at the new base, the master didn't show his face. When asked Xuanfa's senior brother, he only said that the master was in seclusion, but also asked where the senior sister was. Xuanfa's senior brother led us to the entrance of the forbidden area, and we didn't dare to go down to look. Xuanfa's senior brother also explained the matter of the sect's formation, and no one was allowed to investigate. Violators were expelled from the sect. It wasn't until a year later that Xianwei's senior brother, along with the baby, quietly found me and told me everything that was the master's evil intent in the forbidden area. The master divided himself into 3 parts by beheading 3 corpses, and used his kindness and physical body to help him. The big formation sealed the senior sister, and the evil thoughts were locked in a forbidden area. As for the most important ID, it was taken away by senior brother Xianwei. I hate them. I hate master's foolish kindness, I hate senior brother Xuanwei's malicious strategies, and even more so, I hate him for telling me these things. I also hate senior brother Xuanfa. He must know everything, but he didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. I also hate myself. I'm so stupid, I didn't do anything. Memories of the past resurfaced, with grievances, self-blame, resentment, and various emotions surging in my heart. My senior uncle buried his face in his knees, with even greater pressure on his chest, crying loudly while holding his legs. Li Chengfeng didn't know how to comfort her, so he could only gently embrace the heartbreaking woman in front of him from behind. Senior uncle, who am I? How could you have my portrait? I don't know, my senior brother only told me that you are crucial. In 18 years, when you reach adulthood, you will be sent to me to teach you how to practice. The senior uncle replied with a closed chest. Miss Lang said the portrait was given to him by you 5 years ago, but I was only 13 years old 5 years ago. Li Chengfeng was puzzled. I don't know about this anymore. The portrait was given to me by my senior brother 7 years ago, so maybe the time on both sides is different. On both sides, have you been there, senior uncle? Li Chengfeng was a little excited. So, shouldn't I be able to go back now? Yeah, I've been to see you a few times before, secretly, but it was so troublesome in the past and I can't take anyone with me yet. You probably can't go back now. Oh, that's it. Li Chengfeng was not disappointed either. He had anticipated that it wouldn't have been so easy to pass, otherwise it would have been chaotic. Master suddenly looked up and almost bumped into Li Chengfeng's nose. Turning around, he pounced on Li Chengfeng and pressed his chest, staring straight into his eyes with a sickly blush on his face and tears at the corners of his eyes. So, Xia Chengfeng, you must have something to do with your master's ID, right? It must be true. Otherwise, why did senior brother put in so much effort to cultivate you? Your body is also like my master's, a spiritual body, such a great creative body. How could you happen to encounter another one so coincidentally? The more Shi Shu spoke, the more excited he became. He began to tear at Li Chengfeng's clothes and wanted to study them more intuitively. Li Chengfeng panicked and dared to grab his senior uncle's wrist. Senior uncle, please calm down. I'm a man, a man. You see clearly. I don't believe it. Let me take a look. With a swoop, a pillar appeared in front of senior uncle. Li Chengfeng's face turned red. Senior uncle was also stunned by the Optimus Prime in front of him, and his face gradually turned red. Li Chengfeng quickly put on his clothes and tucked them at the foot of the bed. Uncle, have you seen me? I'm a man. Have I ever said that the master is a woman? What? Okay, master is a woman. Senior uncle was also suppressed by this scene. I haven't seen it before, really haven't seen it. Cough cough, Xia Chengfeng, you're still shy. Little brat, I've never seen anything, senior uncle. It's just a small scene. Senior uncle couldn't continue boasting. By the way, you will become my disciple from now on. Don't call yourself senior uncle in the future. No one in the sect knows about these things except for senior brother Xuanfa. As a teacher, the Dharma name is Xuanmiao. You have met your second senior sister, Ling Xuang. Your eldest senior sister. I will introduce you to you again when I have the opportunity. Yes, master. Li Chengfeng couldn't even show any respect. Go out and find your second senior sister. Let her take you to the Sutra Pavilion to obtain a copy of our basic martial arts Tianxin Ju. Then let her help you find 2 martial arts for you to practice first. I have some other matters to attend to, so go out first. Li Chengfeng almost escaped. Xuanmiao watched Li Chengfeng leave and murmured to himself, Master, where did your senior brother hide you? I miss you so much. Chapter 5. Survival Guide for the Sutra Pavilion. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Chengfeng, who came out of the main hall, waited in place for cold frost, feeling a little emotional in his heart. This new life is really a bit exciting, it has inexplicably become what it is now. It's not right, it shouldn't be inexplicable. According to what I just said mysteriously, I should have been arranged from birth to stand here today. This feeling is not very good, but it can't be said to be too bad. At least they are still alive, right? And they should still live for a long time, after all, they shouldn't let themselves die easily. Alas, the world of power systems still needs to become stronger. 15 years of cultivation is enough to maintain a stable mindset. Looking at Leng Shuang approaching in the distance, Li Chengfeng suddenly remembered forgetting to ask the senior sister about her, and about the spiritual body. It's all because Master suddenly started burning. I completely forgot about it. Drinking and lusting are misleading. Thinking of the scene just now, Li Chengfeng blushed a bit. Cold Frost wondered, why are you looking at me blushing? Could it be that Cold Frost blushed a bit when she remembered what had happened on the flying boat? Li Chengfeng looked at Ling Shuang's blush and was also puzzled. Thinking about Ling Shuang's matter, he remembered a glimpse of Jinghong by the lake, and his face turned even redder. The two of them blushed and looked at each other, then looked away from each other, with a strange sour smell, although it was fake. After all, Li Chengfeng spoke first and said, cough, second senior sister. Li Chengfeng bowed. Second senior sister. Cold Frost was taken aback by this title. Yes, master just took me as an apprentice. From now on, I am your junior brother. Didn't master tell you? Li Chengfeng smiled sincerely and looked at Ling Xuang. Cold Frost, who had a ghost in her heart, felt uneasy all over with this calm gaze. Junior brother. Master, what does this mean? Just now you told me to kill him in the future and then take him as an apprentice. What kind of operation is this? Well, master, you haven't told me yet, just let me take you to the Sutra Pavilion to select the techniques, let's go. The confusion in my heart also dispelled the feeling just now, and I walked forward on my own. Li Chengfeng didn't feel anything unusual either. Although his contact time was short, he roughly understood that Ling Xuang had a relatively cold personality and wouldn't take the initiative to talk to others. He followed Ling Xuang towards the Sutra Pavilion. In a secret room in the bedroom behind the main hall, the pitch-black walls of the room are illuminated by the halo of various gemstones, and the walls are also engraved with intricate patterns. In the middle, there is a jade pedestal with a mobile phone prominently placed on it. That's right, it's a phone. Mysteriously, a gemstone is placed in a nearby groove, and the patterns on the wall start to shine, making the gemstone's halo even more intense. Mysteriously and proficiently operating his phone, he dialed a number and waited for a moment, only to hear noisy voices from across the street. Xuan Miao felt his anger rising and shouted, "Xian Wei. You quickly find a quiet place." The voice from the opposite side is gone, and there is a pleasing voice coming. "Junior sister, it's time to ride the wind. Give me a call." Here we go, to make a long story short, it's a waste of energy. What is the relationship between Chengfeng and his master? Are you sure that his spiritual body can awaken using that method? Is there any danger? Lastly, the most important thing is where the master is. Master and Chengfeng have nothing to do with each other, at least it doesn't seem so far. I don't know the specific details of Chengfeng, I can only talk about fate. That method was told by master to me, and those who implement it are in danger. Are you all prepared? Finally, master is in Chengfeng's ring. Ring? Why? The master went in by himself, and that ring was hanging on Chengfeng when I found it. As for Chengfeng's spiritual body, the master also told me, otherwise how could I know? Yes, it's impossible to recognize the telepathic body before it awakens, so how did the master know? Then I don't know, maybe spiritual bodies have their own wonders. Master, how did you tell you so much? Xuan Miao said with a hint of sourness. Because you're too stupid. The old Taoist didn't hear it. What are you saying? Cough, what I mean is, I'm smarter. Why did you tell me? Do you remember back then? You also wanted to kill senior sister. Do you have to say this? Because you have principles, and second senior brother also has them. You all know what to do right, but he has fallen into his own demons and is useless. I cannot give him the only solution, Chengfeng. Okay, that's it, I'll arrange it. The energy is insufficient, senior brother. Goodbye. Xuan Miao hung up the phone without hesitation. This junior sister, don't you even know how to care about senior brother? Xian Wei pushed the door into the private room. Coming back, Bullnose, come on, continue playing music, continue dancing. The host started shaking with a shiny bald head. Inside the secret room. Master, when it comes to riding the wind, principles. Huh. Second senior brother is crazy. Where can I get better? I'm still smart, third senior brother is also a fool. Mysteriously hummed in a strange tone and left the secret room. On the way to the Sutra Pavilion. Second senior sister, tell me about senior sister, curious. Li Chengfeng asked after Ling Xuang. Didn't the master tell you? Upon hearing this master, Li Chengfeng felt a bit speechless. I didn't say it, but the master said he will introduce it when he has time in the future. Oh, that's it, let's talk about it later. Leng Shuang still didn't know what attitude to adopt towards this junior brother who was going to be killed in the future, but she knew to stay away from him, speak less, and at least not hesitate too much when he had to take action in the future. Well, okay, Li Chengfeng didn't ask much, as if he also noticed that Cold Frost didn't want to speak, just silently followed. Arriving at the entrance of the Sutra Pavilion, a large sign caught Li Chengfeng's attention. A survival guide for the Sutra Pavilion. What? What kind of thing is dangerous in the Sutra Pavilion? No, this place is like a library, can it still trap its own people? Li Chengfeng continued to look down. 1. The Sutra Pavilion prohibits loud noise. Well, it doesn't look quite normal, the library. 2. You must leave the Sutra Pavilion before the sun sets, and you must leave before the third bell rings. Well, it's still normal, the library. 3. If you haven't left the Sutra Pavilion before the third bell rings, rush to the top floor room immediately and don't come out no matter what you hear. Remember. What? So, what's the situation? Is the Scripture Pavilion so scary at night? Senior sister, this. Don't ask, just remember. A disciple who once stayed overnight would die the next day, and those who didn't die would also become dementia. After that, no one dared to violate it again. Oh, good. The two entered the Sutra Pavilion. Cold Frost casually took a book from the shelf next to the door and gave it to Li Chengfeng. Heavenly Determination, ah. Is the core martial arts of the sect so grandly displayed here? Li Chengfeng looked at a pile of similar martial arts on the shelf and was surprised. The so-called core cultivation method is just a simple basic qi cultivation technique. The methods of absorbing spiritual energy are similar, all depending on personal qualifications. Moreover, our sect's position is dominant in the mainland of Zhongzhou, so it doesn't matter. Cold Frost was also very proud. Cow, indeed, having a big fist is the reason. Do senior sisters have any other recommended martial arts techniques? Do you have any weapons that you are good at? At the beginning of your cultivation, you mainly focus on melee combat. Sword, right. I played Thief 6 with Tai Chi sword. Then let's take this one. The characteristic of instant shadow swordsmanship is its speed, and there is also this book, Fast Wind Step, which is used in conjunction with defense techniques. Although it is not a top defense technique, the advantage lies in its ability to move and use it. Don't think about killing the opponent with a single move. Fast speed is the only way to have more opportunities, whether it is against the enemy or running away. Although Leng Shuang doesn't know what attitude to adopt towards Li Chengfeng, it's still okay to do business. Okay, thank you very much, senior sister. Then let's go back. First, go to the registration office to register you, then go to the supplies office to collect the sect's basic set, and then take you to the new disciples' dormitory. No, I'll ask the master about your residence first. Cold Frost took out the token with the heavenly character, and his mind penetrated for a moment, revealing a strange expression. Looking at Li Chengfeng's expression became even more strange. Second senior sister, what's wrong? This expression made Li Chengfeng's heart furrow again. It's nothing, come with me. Oh. After a busy day, in the afternoon, Li Chengfeng looked at the hall in front of him and fell into contemplation. Why did I come back here again? Is there something wrong? Cold Frost finally led Li Chengfeng back here and left without saying a word, leaving Li Chengfeng in disarray in the wind. Xia Chengfeng is back, come in quickly. Let Li Chengfeng's soft-legged voice come in. Yes, senior uncle. Call master. Yes, master. You're still in the show, right? Chapter 6. Master, please take care of yourself. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Li Chengfeng bravely entered, but he was a bit far away. Master, I have already obtained the basic martial arts and the 3 practical combat techniques that my senior sister has selected for me. May I ask where I will stay tonight? Li Chengfeng didn't look up and arched his hand. Zia Chengfeng, it's so far away. Hurry up and let me take a good look. His tone was a bit resentful, but more joyful. Master, we just met this morning. Please arrange for the disciples' accommodation at night, Master. Li Chengfeng emphasized his tone in the morning, feeling a bit panicked. He didn't think he had anything to attract this beautiful martial uncle. If anything goes wrong, there must be demons, just stay away. Come here. His tone became more serious this time, even with a hint of pressure, and Li Chengfeng felt the pressure. Alright, here we go. Being able to bend and stretch when there is no threat to life's safety is called being smooth. Li Chengfeng quickly walked into the gauze tent, forcibly ignoring the beauty of his martial uncle. He pulled up the lying martial uncle on his side and then pinched his shoulder from behind. No matter what kind of demon he is, at least he needs to take some initiative first. Hey! The mystery was clouded by Li Chengfeng's smooth and flowing operations, and he didn't say a word. He swallowed the words he had originally intended to make fun of this pure nephew. Xiao Chengfeng, are you? Xuan Miao felt a bit comfortable. It is appropriate to be filial to senior uncle. Call master. Xuan Miao narrowed her eyes comfortably. Yes, master. Unexpectedly, I saw the mystery of my left ring and suddenly woke up, almost fooled by this bastard. With his right hand grabbing the hand on his left shoulder, he casually rubbed the ring and said mysteriously, Xiao Chengfeng, don't pinch it. Master will guide you in your cultivation. Li Chengfeng couldn't help but beg for it. It is said that there is no time for cultivation, and as soon as his eyes are closed and open, one night will pass. Okay. Come to the mysterious front and sit down. Come on, master, how to do it. Li Chengfeng had a stern and serious expression on his face, his eyes fixed. This bastard has adapted to me so quickly. Mysterious is a bit skeptical of her charm. Forget it, it's not important. I glanced at the ring and put away my expression. Raise your hands and let the master and you practice together. What? Shuang Xiu. Senior uncle, you value yourself. Li Chengfeng's mind instantly recalled 108 scenes about Shuang Xiu, hugging himself tightly, and his face turned red again. Xuan Miao also knows what double cultivation means over there, but it's different here. I couldn't help but give Li Chengfeng a surprise. Call master. The practice of two people practicing the cycle of true qi, abbreviated as double cultivation. Mysterious and slightly headache-stricken Fu forehead. Oh, okay, I misunderstood master. Epsilon equals, Omicron asterisk, alas, adolescent boys are so difficult to deal with, their brains are full of yellow waste. Hurry up. Come on, master. Have you read the Heavenly Heart technique? Not yet, master. You don't need to look, it's not very useful. Oh. Tianxin Ju. I don't want face. Xuan Miao infused spiritual power into Li Chengfeng's body with both hands, guiding this spiritual power to travel through various meridians of the body, and finally converging to the heavenly spirit, Dantian, and heart. Have you remembered the root of spiritual energies movement? Remember. The foundation of a cultivator is to initiate and transform the four acupoints, corresponding to the heavenly spirit, Dantian, and heart. As for the acupoints, they vary from person to person, some are hands, some are legs, and some are eyes. This is not urgent, you can practice the first 3 points first. You start, eliminate distractions, master will add some buffs to you. I saw Xuan Miao take out several face-sized spirit stones and crush them, instantly overflowing with spiritual energy like white mist. Xuan Miao also bound the spiritual energy around Li Chengfeng. Li Chengfeng admitted that there was a moment of excitement, she was a wealthy woman. Close your eyes and guide the mysterious spiritual energy left in your body, absorbing the rich spiritual energy around you. Xuanmiao saw Li Chengfeng enter a state of calm, and his attention shifted to the ring. Master is right here. Xuanmiao had the idea of snatching the ring, but she held back because she knew she didn't have the ability to save her master and senior sister. She had to admit that in terms of strength, she couldn't compare to senior brother Xuanfa, and in terms of wisdom, she couldn't compare to senior brother Xianwei. But she only has perseverance. Even her master admits that if one day any of her disciples can surpass her, it will be the eldest disciple and the fourth disciple. Senior sister, Xuanmiao respects senior sister, and once envied her. Senior sister is perfect, even more perfect than her master. Therefore, in that vote, she chose to kill. If Xuanfa is for the world, then Xuanmiao is for selfishness. She selfishly believes that senior sister will agree with her ideas. Senior sister is perfect, beautiful, powerful, and upright, and all beautiful words can be applied to her. So Xuanmiao believes that master sister would not allow herself to have such a stain, and the fact is indeed so. After rescuing the senior sister, she had a brief period of qingming, but when she really heard her say, "Kill me," from her mouth, Xuanfa collapsed. His public and private feelings were severely severed, and his mysterious Tao heart also appeared to be cracked. The master was the saddest. Xianwei is the most calm. He also hates the demon sect, but he can understand. Other so-called righteous paths, while understanding the truth, still come to his door. They are just for profit. Senior sister has also helped their disciples in her daily life. So Xianwei came up with that once and for all plan. Mysterious sense reached out and gently touched the ring, but the consciousness inside the ring was like a little girl alone at home. She knew that there was a familiar uncle outside the door, but she didn't want to open it. Mysterious also knew the purity of her ID, just continued to gently touch it, hoping to have a lasting affection. Li Chengfeng, who possesses a spiritual body, is the father of the Dragon King who has not reached the deadline. He cannot return home and is sad. This side is exploring the ring mysteriously, and Li Chengfeng has also encountered a small problem over there. He felt that something was wrong with his body. It shouldn't be too easy to break through the orifices, but it was easy for him. He passed quickly without any obstacles. To be safe, he even tried back and forth a few times. After discovering that there was really no problem, he sang and advanced all the way. The first 3 points were directly opened, and the external spiritual power was absorbed faster, and the internal spiritual power also operated more quickly. When he was about to finish work, he felt a sense of knowing the location of his fourth orifice, located in his lower back on the waist. What? Is something wrong? Why is it on the waist? I felt it carefully again, and the spiritual power of my body was indeed unconsciously flowing towards my waist. Forget it, the waist is the waist, and Li Chengfeng continues to break through the acupoint of Hiqiao. Xuanmiao had been dealing with the ring all along, but at first she didn't notice the speed of spiritual energy loss increasing. It wasn't until the dense mist of spiritual energy disappeared that she realized it and quickly crushed a few more spiritual stones. Looking at Li Chengfeng with a surprised expression, I saw him pounding the fourth orifice, sensed his position, and the corner of my eye twitched. At this position, looking at this face again, I was speechless for a moment. However, I quickly realized that it was too fast. You should know that even the genius senior sister took 5 years to break through the 4 major acupoints. Quickly grab the heavenly heart technique next to you and record it in the book. Those with excellent qualifications can pass through 3 acupoints within 7 years and the 4th acupoint within 10 years. This is the basic cultivation method found by the master from ancient sects, which was modified to establish the sect. Mysterious, I burned this book directly. I can't let this bastard know that he is a genius among geniuses, otherwise he doesn't necessarily have to drift somewhere. Jealousy. Impossible. Feeling the spiritual energy around him becoming stronger again, Li Chengfeng once again struck the fourth orifice and succeeded in one fell swoop. The spiritual energy in the body begins to circulate continuously, automatically absorbing the spiritual energy from heaven and earth. Li Chengfeng took a comfortable breath, still observing his mysterious expression. There is no strange smell, and after the 4 major orifices are connected, it can reach a scale-free body, and the spiritual energy will wash itself. But Xuan Miao's face turned black. This bastard. Li Chengfeng, who originally thought he would see the sunrise, opened his eyes and saw the mysterious expression on his face. Why hasn't it been dawn yet? After 18 years of guarding myself like a jade, I will eventually end up in dire straits. Although Uncle sure is great, I like to take the initiative. If Xuan Miao knew what Li Chengfeng was thinking, he would probably kick him out. Senior uncle, what's wrong? Li Chengfeng asked with an innocent expression on his face. Call master. Mysterious people have become accustomed to this catchphrase. Oh, master, this heavenly heart technique is truly a core skill. Look at me, these 4 major acupoints are fully understood. It's only been a while longer. 2 hours. Oh, please arrange for the disciples' accommodation, master, Li Chengfeng asked cautiously. Xuan Miao had a headache. How could she have expected Li Chengfeng to pass the beginner's stage so quickly? She never prepared a place for him to live. The mysterious idea is to use Li Chengfeng's cultivation time to establish a good relationship with his master and enter the ring. Let's have a good time first. When the competition is over, kick Li Chengfeng to the Demon Control Bureau to execute the plan. But as the saying goes, human calculation is not as good as heavenly calculation. The spiritual body of Tianyu is so outrageous. Even if it is not awakened, coupled with the foundation that Xianwei has built for Li Chengfeng for 18 years, all his skills are infused into it. I don't know if Xuan Miao would go through and beat Xianwei up if he knew the truth behind it. There's nothing I can do, I can't bear to let my child fall for me. For the sake of my master, he thinks I'm like this anyway. So I'll just push the boat with the flow and make him dependent on me. Chengfeng, what should I do if I haven't prepared a place for you? Otherwise, you'll be wronged. It's okay with master. Xuan Miao regained her older sister's appearance. Ah, this, senior uncle, isn't it good? Li Chengfeng wanted it a bit, but couldn't show what he wanted. Master, this child has such a lack of memory and has made such a happy decision. Come on, Xuan Miao rushed forward. Master. Master, please take care of yourself. Chapter 7. Uncle's Dreams. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Master. Master, please calm down. It's not right for us to do this. Li Chengfeng retreated to the corner of the bed, unable to retreat. Mysterious like a cat catching prey, watching the delicious prey with no escape, gradually approaching. Chengfeng, what are you afraid of? Uncle sure won't eat you. Come and lie down obediently, make a pillow. Xuan Miao licked her lips and grabbed Li Chengfeng's ankle. A pillow. Li Chengfeng was taken aback and caught under Xuan Miao's body. Yeah, pillow, otherwise what are you thinking? Little pervert. Mysterious eyes looked vaguely at Li Chengfeng. Li Chengfeng felt a bit embarrassed when he was poked open and didn't turn his head to look at his senior uncle. Ha ha ha, Chengfeng, you're so cute. He stuffed half of Li Chengfeng's head into the mountain peak and said mysteriously and jokingly. Feeling the pressure, Li Chengfeng is a little calm. After all, he is used to being molested. Forget it, I had to bow my head under the eaves and endure it. Li Chengfeng chose to endure adversity and enjoy passively, although he likes to take the initiative. Anyway, he thinks so himself. Chengfeng, why don't you talk? Boys need to be more lively to be liked by girls. Xuan Miao continued to communicate with Li Chengfeng while fiddling with his hair. I don't want girls to like me at all. I just want to become stronger and run away, hold you down in reverse. But now, it's still a bit heartfelt, this is called enduring the weight of breasts. Master, what you said is that I will make changes. Master, this child has such a bad memory, Xuanmiao continued to adjust Li Chengfeng. I'm TM. I can bear it. Mysterious sister. My memory is not very good, can I call you sister in the future? Workplace tip. All older women should call you sister, unless they are very old. No big or small, although I'm still young, if you really want to call, I reluctantly agree, but you can only call privately. Xuanmiao lightly patted Li Chengfeng's head, covered his mouth and chuckled, happily accepting the proposal. Is this child quite good at speaking? No, older women don't like handsome young men calling themselves sisters, no. That's really hard for you. Sister Xuanmiao, I'm tired, let's go to sleep. Li Chengfeng wanted to end the embarrassing scene by sleeping. Is Chengfeng tired? Alright, with such a comfortable pillow, sister, I've slept well too. I haven't slept in many years. Xuanmiao made a good calculation, and when Li Chengfeng fell asleep, she could do whatever she wanted with the ring. An hour later, Xuanmiao heard a steady breathing sound from beside him. But Li Chengfeng can't sleep anymore. I haven't experienced this scene before. After calming down, the young man felt soft, fragrant, and energetic everywhere, feeling very difficult to handle. And the mysterious sleeping pattern is very bad, very bad. My thighs directly covered Chengfeng, still moving around, and my hands were not honest. I would punch my stomach and punch my face. Li Chengfeng dared not speak out and silently endured his sister's love. Mysterious sighed, originally planned well, wanted to wait for Li Chengfeng to fall asleep, but left and right waited without sleeping, and could only secretly explore the ring. Perhaps the pillow was really comfortable, and I fell asleep unconsciously. For so many years, Xuanmiao rarely slept, and even slept without anyone around him. As Xuanmiao fell asleep, the divine consciousness on the ring unconsciously returned to consciousness and brought back something that did not belong to her. A mysterious dream. Where is this? Looking at the white mist in front of me, I felt a little puzzled. Oh, I fell asleep, not only asleep, but also dreaming. She realized she was dreaming. I haven't dreamed for many years, and since entering the 5 elements realm, I haven't dreamed again. Mysterious feeling is very novel, I want to see what I will dream of. The mist dissipated slightly, and she saw 9 children, one of whom was a larger girl leading another smaller girl, followed by 7 little boys. A woman in white walked ahead, with only her back, but even if you only look at her back, you can still see her gentle and elegant temperament. Her footsteps were not hurried or slow, and she walked quietly ahead. It's the master. Yes, this is when the master first found us. That day, a few children were sharing their gains in a dilapidated temple. When the master came in, he was immediately attracted by the gentleness on his face, which was an expression he had never seen before. Just looking at him made people feel like they were basking in spring breeze. Only the eldest of the children stood up and asked in a childish voice, "Sister, what's up?" Master is a kind person who has been practicing and helping many poor people along the way. The master remained silent and gave them a lot of food. The master knew that money could not be guarded by just a few children, and could only provide food. He could only help a little. A few children didn't immediately pounce on the food when they saw it, but turned their heads to look at their older sister. The senior sister was looking at the master, wanting to see the emotions in his eyes clearly, until the master spoke up and said, "Let's eat." The master nodded hesitantly, and the children happily stepped forward to eat. Perhaps the gentleness on the master's face touched the senior sister. The senior sister didn't go to eat, but walked up to the master, knelt on the ground, and looked directly at the master. "Can you take us away?" A few children looked at the senior sister and then at the master. No one knows what the master was thinking at the time, just thought for a while and said, "Okay." Several children also asked their master when they grew up, and the master just smiled and said it was fate. But they didn't believe it, but they didn't say anything because it wasn't very important. Xuan Miao saw the master who was longing for him day and night, and he didn't care if it was a dream. He chased after him and even used magic, but no matter how hard he chased after him, he couldn't catch up. Beyond dreams. Unable to sleep, Li Chengfeng began silently reciting the Tianxin curse to calm himself down and quickly go to bed. Suddenly, Li Chengfeng heard something whispering beside him, and leaned in to listen carefully. "Master, Master, don't leave, I miss you so much." There were tears in the corners of my eyes. Li Chengfeng looked at the picture of his older sister teasing him and also sighed. It was just a little girl who missed her master. Touched by the softness within, Li Chengfeng broke free from the mysterious embrace and held it with his back hand. He gently touched the head of the little girl who missed her master and said softly, "Master hasn't left, Master is here." Li Chengfeng won't admit that doing so inexplicably pleases him, he's just comforting this poor person. The atmosphere changed from ambiguous to warm, and Li Chengfeng gradually felt drowsy and fell asleep unconsciously. Early morning. The sunlight shone into the room, and on the bed was an enviable scene of handsome men and beautiful women snuggling together. "Master, Master, why are you so ordinary?" Mysterious eyes didn't open before she started talking nonsense. After touching for a while, Xuan Miao opened her eyes and a handsome face appeared in front of her. "Xiao Qingfeng is so handsome, isn't he?" Feeling embraced, my mysterious mind instantly went blank. What happened? I fell asleep. How did he hug me? We subconsciously kicked Li Qingfeng down. What kind of person? Enemy attack. Senior uncle. Li Qingfeng woke up in shock. Call Xuan Miao sister. Upon hearing this sentence, both of them were stunned. Xuan Miao's face blushed as she tightened her collar and looked at Li Qingfeng under the bed. Li Qingfeng sat on the ground with a bewildered expression, looking at the mystery on the bed. "Get out." Mysteriously pointed to the door. "Oh." Li Qingfeng went out in confusion. Chapter 8. Junior Brother's Observation Diary. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The morning sun enters the Tianxin sect's residence. Outside the three elders' hall stood a handsome young man with a bewildered face. Li Qingfeng is contemplating several philosophical issues. Who am I, where am I from, and where am I going? Shaking his head, he drove away the chaotic thoughts in his mind and recalled the scene just now. Senior uncle, are you shy? Is it because I'm too close? Or was it discovered by me that she was in the same state as her youngest daughter? It should be the latter. Unexpectedly, even a martial uncle who looks like a demon has a pure side. Li Qingfeng discovered the weaknesses of the enemy and thought about how to utilize them to achieve the reversal of the heavenly gang. Li Qingfeng, who was in a good mood, began to stroll around the Tianxin sect. The young man who had just arrived had forgotten his idea of becoming stronger and resisting his martial uncle last night, and he began to wander around with all his heart. Cold Frost, who had been guarding outside the three elders' hall all night, saw Li Qingfeng, who was proud of the spring breeze, with a question mark on his face. Cold Frost thought for a whole night, but couldn't figure out why the master wanted to take Li Qingfeng as his disciple and gave him such an order. The key is to give such orders and make them stay overnight. Master, what are you doing? So Cold Frost decided to observe Li Qingfeng and see what the problem was with this person. Yes, Cold Frost still thinks it's Li Qingfeng's problem. The master's acceptance of him as an apprentice is just numbing him. After all, the master has not made any mistakes yet. On Li Qingfeng's side, as he walked, he saw a signboard. What? How could there be such a thing in the sect? Are you afraid that thieves will come in and you won't be able to find your way? It's really true that Tianxin sect once encountered a thief who had no other skills. His escape skills were top-notch, he was proficient in this art, and his technique of restraining breathing was extremely deep. Unless he saw it with his own eyes, he would not be able to detect it at all. There wasn't much loss, as the old saying goes, I'm not afraid of thieves stealing, I'm just afraid of thieves thinking. It's not a problem to keep guard like this. Elder 6 and Immortal 7 Chengfeng came up with a solution. They made some road signs and marked the direction leading to the forbidden area. Most visitors would go that way. Others think this idea is good, but it's a bit of a loss, and the senior sister is in the forbidden area. Is that a bit bad? Finally, Xuanfa made a decision on this matter, as he knew what was inside the forbidden area. Then, that person never appeared again. Li Chengfeng also saw the signs of the forbidden area, but he knew what was inside, so he didn't want to go at all, at least not now. I saw the Zonman exchange again, and with a mindset of foresight, I passed by smoothly. Leng Shuang was still observing Li Chengfeng, and it was strange to see that he was not interested in the forbidden area. She didn't know what was inside, but her master had told her that the forbidden area was very dangerous and there were important things inside, so she had to stay away. Not interested in important things in the forbidden area, isn't he an undercover agent? Leng Shuang took out a small notebook and wrote down her guess. Continuing to follow, I found that Li Chengfeng had entered the exchange and thought he had something dangerous that wanted to spread within the sect. I quickly followed him in, keeping a distance and watching Li Chengfeng from afar. Hey, do you think that's Senior Sister Leng? Who is Senior Sister Leng looking at? Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. What are you? You came late, you don't know. There was once a senior brother named Cheng Hong under the Six Elders sect who pursued Senior Sister Leng, but Senior Sister Leng was such a person. How could she have taken notice of him? Cheng Hong didn't know where he came from and wanted to secretly harm Senior Sister Leng. And then she was broken in 5 limbs by Senior Sister Leng and thrown into the Tianxin gorge to feed the fish. Tear it off. 5 limbs. Hands, feet, head, isn't it just 5 limbs? What do you think? I want to be hit by Senior Sister Leng's 6th limb, how could that be a good thing? Ah. You. Ah what? Then the 6th elder came to apologize to the 3rd elder, saying that the discipline was not strict and Cheng Hong's identity was revoked. Let's go, let's go. Cold Frost ignored the words of others and silently observed Li Chengfeng. Speaking of Li Chengfeng's side, he was really Lu Lao Lao who entered the Grand View Garden and saw everything fresh. Unfortunately, he didn't have the money. Since then, he hasn't even received a spirit stone, and the only time he saw a spirit stone was when he was eaten by himself. He suddenly had an impulse to go back to the mysterious place and ask for the spirit stone. Anyway, that was a wealthy woman. After reading for a while, he probably understood the value of spirit stones. With such a big face, spirit stones are exorbitant. Thinking about eating several times makes me feel heartbroken. Forget it, we can only look at it and can't buy it. It hurts, let's go. Leng Shuang watched as Li Chengfeng left and took out a small notebook. There were no abnormalities in the exchange, and judging from her performance, she seemed to want to buy but couldn't afford it. She was poor. Alas, let's practice. It doesn't cost much, but where to practice? Ask senior uncle. I took out the sect token and didn't start contacting my senior uncle. Inside the 3 elders' hall. Mysterious sitting in bed is still trying to recall what happened last night. Well, I wanted to wait for him to fall asleep, and then I fell asleep. I had a dream where there was a master, but I couldn't catch up. No, it seemed like I caught up in the end. The master even touched my head and said to me, "He's here." Master, damn it. That little bastard must have taken advantage of me. Mysteriously hammered the bedboard. My heart is so tired, I really want to die. How can I still show the dignity of an elder in front of that little bastard in the future? Epsilon equals, Omicron asterisk, psi. Who called me? Received communication from the sect. Little bastard. What did he call me for? Hello, Sister Xuanmiao, can you hear me? The little bastard just broke through his 4 orifices and still doesn't know how to teleport. You're going to die, find a place where no one else can hear you. The mysterious and impatient voice came. The cold frost behind, is mysterious, sister. How to calculate this generation? Cold Frost's face was once again filled with question marks. Li Chengfeng looked around and didn't find anyone. It's okay, there's no one around me. It's like this. I want to practice the 3 martial arts that second senior sister gave me yesterday. Is there a place like a training ground? Where are you? Wait a moment, I'll have Shuanger find you. I am near the exchange. Okay, wait. Oh. Why is senior uncle so strange? Forget it, it has always been quite strange. Later, Ling Shuang received a message from his master, feeling a bit speechless and feeling tired. Master, what are you up to? You still need to teach him how to practice. Master, do you remember what you said yesterday? Cold Frost couldn't help but send a message to the master, and then, translated as, the user you dialed has turned off. Cold Frost felt for the first time that the master was a bit unreliable. Mysterious now just wants to calm down and think about what to do at night. Simply turn off the device and cover it with a blanket. Cold Frost sighed and found Li Chengfeng from another direction. Second senior sister, I want to practice the 3 martial arts you gave me yesterday. Where are we going? Come with me. Cold Frost still didn't know what attitude to adopt when facing Li Chengfeng, but today's reason was different from yesterday. In the cultivation field, there is a dedicated cultivation room for disciples who have passed down their teachings. Cold Frost adjusted it a bit, and the venue became a suitable place to practice the instant shadow sword. Have you seen the instantaneous shadow sword? Not yet. Well. Let's take a look first. Li Chengfeng thought he would hear it, but there's no need to look. Anyway, it's useless. Sure enough, senior uncle is still impressive. Li Chengfeng was looking at his martial arts, while Ling Shuang was looking at him. It seemed like he was looking at him, but in fact, he was thinking about what had happened in the past 2 days. His master's contradictory attitude, as well as his own observations of Li Chengfeng's behavior, had no flaws. Why did the master ask me to kill him? Alright, second senior sister. Oh, that's it. First, you can practice the moves and get familiar with them. You haven't started practicing the heavenly heart technique yet. How many of the 4 orifices have you mastered? I have all 4 orifices cleared, second senior sister. So. What are you saying? Cold Frost looked at Li Chengfeng incredulously and grabbed his wrist. Slowly lift your eyes and stare at Li Chengfeng. Here we go again, this kind of gaze. Senior sister, what's wrong? Li Chengfeng asked cautiously as he looked at the wrist that had been caught. It's nothing, just follow the cultivation method and move your spiritual power to the corresponding meridians. Hold your sword and strike it. Cold Frost's heart was already shocked beyond measure, but she still didn't show it. You must find a time to ask the master what's going on. She had carefully investigated before and found that Li Chengfeng had no cultivation, but his body was relatively strong. The previous speculation by the lake also turned into his exhaustion from fighting for his life. Only one night, all 4 orifices open. Are you joking? Is the beginning of Tianxin Ju farting? Afterwards, I practiced 2 other techniques. The feeling of cultivation is really good, but time flies a bit fast. Li Chengfeng thought of going back to the silk cave at night, feeling a bit heavy again. Thank you, senior sister. I'll come back tomorrow to practice. Watching Li Chengfeng leave dejected, Ling Shuang silently took out a small notebook. Suspected of hiding cultivation and infiltrating our sect, master. No, Li Chengfeng's mysterious sister may also have a problem. Cold Frost was also the first to suspect his master. Chapter 9. Pinching and Being Pinched. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ling Xuan was thinking about how to ask his master Li Chengfeng about it. Now Cold Frost has two options. One is to directly ask the master, and the other is to tell the master about this matter. But these two choices will depend on the situation and see if the master has any problems. If the master has any questions, isn't asking the master like falling into a trap? If there is no problem with the master, isn't it true that reporting to the headmaster is not a backstabbing master? Cold Frost fell into a dilemma. Find an opportunity to test the master, according to the master's usual style, we can only do that. Li Chengfeng returned to the outside of the Three Elders' Hall. He was also in distress at this moment, and he was also thinking about what kind of attitude to face this capricious martial uncle with. Is it the attitude towards little girls? Or the attitude towards the older sister? These two performance methods are completely different. If someone were here, they would see a handsome young man pacing back and forth, drooping his head and sighing, acting like a lunatic, changing his face. Mysteriously sensing the arrival of Li Chengfeng, she was also conflicted and truly worthy of being a master and disciple. She didn't want to lose the authority of her elders or the opportunity to get close to her master, so she decided to have a thicker skin. Riding the wind, come in. A serious and pleasant voice came from inside the hall. Upon hearing this sound, Li Chengfeng knew what role to play. Pushing the door open, she said naturally, Sister Xuanmiao, I've been practicing all day today and I'm exhausted. Let me lie down for a while. As he spoke, he quickly walked towards the gauze tent. Xuanmiao was a bit stunned when she saw Li Chengfeng, who was not at all embarrassed, but she had to take the initiative, which was a matter of face. Zaya Chengfeng, wait a moment, sister has something to tell you. Ah. Master, please kneel down. What? Do you want to hear what you're saying? Is this your attitude of seeking help? Let me kneel down and be my master. I'm usually my sister. You've played a lot of identity transformation. Sister, if you have anything to ask for, just say goodbye on your knees. Hinting at Xuanmiao, you are asking someone. This must be resisted and not easily grasped. Even if you have to kneel, you must kneel behind you. Xuanmiao may also feel that such a request for help is a bit arrogant. Cough cough, then you come up and talk closer. Li Chengfeng felt that she was going to cause trouble again, but she also had to get involved. Opening the veil, the first thing I saw was a pair of bright and charming big eyes. With one hand supporting the upper body, I sat sideways on the couch. The curves of my body were clearly visible, and my clothes were tightly stretched. Under the hem of my skirt, my slender jade feet unconsciously moved back and forth, seeming nervous. Li Chengfeng glanced over his jade feet and his throat twitched. Seeing the mysterious situation, one's mind comes up with a plan. Lotus feet moved in front of Li Chengfeng, accompanied by sweet and greasy sounds. Zaya Chengfeng, do you like it? I can let you touch it, but you have to promise me something. Li Chengfeng heard a demon whispering in his ear, almost about to get started, and he immediately woke up. Cough, I'm a handsome 7-foot man. How could I have such a perverted hobby? Master, don't mention it again. His face was serious. Sister, don't you really want to touch it? The hem of the skirt was slightly lifted, revealing a pure white jade-like ankle. Li Chengfeng, who had never seen a physical object before, felt a bit dry-mouthed. Forcefully shifting his gaze, he met the mysterious eyes. Sister, if you have something to do, please tell me. If Chengfeng can do it, he will help. There is no need to. There is no need to do this. It's a bit heartache, but the image should not be lost. Oh, okay, Zaya Chengfeng is really a gentleman. The skirt covered the beautiful scenery again, and he said with a hint of admiration. Sister, Please let me know if you have anything, Li Chengfeng said with a hint of disappointment in his eyes. Since the temptation doesn't work, let's take a different approach. Xuanmiao pulled Li Chengfeng over and sat down, leaning against his shoulder, saying, Zia Chengfeng, please don't disclose last night's incident. After all, my sister is also the third elder, so face is important. However, as an exchange, you can still continue to live here. Normally, Li Chengfeng would agree not to speak out and then be sent to live elsewhere. However, Xuanmiao doesn't want to leave the master in the ring, so this is quite strange. Li Chengfeng also felt very strange. If he used cultivation as an excuse, he could still continue to be here, but he has already fully opened his 4 orifices and passed the beginner stage. There is no need to practice here anymore. Why do you want to keep him here? I can't do it again. After thinking about this, Li Chengfeng stared into Xuanmiao's eyes and asked, Xuanmiao sister, to be honest with me, why do you have to keep me with you? Can my spiritual body still be helpful for your cultivation? Mysterious was asked at 7 inches and instinctively glanced at the ring. Li Chengfeng also noticed. Is it this ring? I forgot to ask, what's so special about this ring? When it comes to the ring, it reminds me of the light and frost I saw that night when I first came over. And second senior sister, what's wrong with second senior sister? Is she immortal? Upon hearing these 2 questions, Xuanmiao put away her frivolous demeanor and sat upright. Ah, do you remember when I told you about the master's ID being taken away? I remember, but I've never seen anything special around the old Taoist for so many years. Master's ID is in the ring. Ah. Li Chengfeng looked at the ring in shock. How could such a large ring fit someone? Master is also a spiritual body, and the ID can be converted between physical and spiritual bodies. Your ring is not a mortal object, it can accommodate Master's spiritual body. As for its origin, I don't know, and senior brother Xianwei is also unclear. Li Chengfeng suddenly felt that this ring was a hot potato, although it could also be a golden finger, it was still safe and reliable. Then I'll give you this ring. No, senior brother Xianwei said you need this ring in your hand. Miss Xuanmiao, you don't seem to be such an obedient person, do you? This matter cannot be careless, no matter what, there must be no mistake in it. Xuanmiao turned to look at Li Chengfeng, his eyes full of determination. Oh, well then, what's wrong with second senior sister? There are many special constitutions in this world, which can be divided into 2 categories. The heavenly blessing body and the heavenly jealousy body. Your spiritual body is the heavenly blessing body, with no side effects. With just a little activation, you can achieve a cultivation speed thousands of times faster than ordinary people. Moreover, in the 5 elements and 4 symbols realm, it is much easier to cultivate than others. Don't you know that the divine body has its own revelation? Ah. I'm not here. It's the first time I've heard about it today. Am I so talented? Li Chengfeng smiled a bit smugly. Are you very proud? Li Chengfeng gave a mysterious glance. It's okay, okay. What about the jealous body that day? The body of heaven's jealousy can be divided into many categories. Your second senior sister is an immortal body. Unless she dies peacefully, even if her form and spirit are destroyed, she cannot die. So perverted. So it is the constitution that heaven should envy. What will second senior sister look like after that? That's the side effect. Every time she is fatally injured, during the recovery process, she becomes unrecognizable and extremely cruel. Everything that moves in her sight must be turned into immobility. Why does it sound a bit cute? And you're not a pervert. Li Chengfeng looked at the mysterious and strange eyes and said, cough, then there's no way to suppress it. When people wander in the martial arts world, there's no way they don't get hurt. If we fight together and accidentally hang up, and then the team will destroy both the enemy and ourselves, isn't it? Isn't it? Mysteriously knowing what he was saying, I made a red string, and when her side effects were extremely severe, it would trap her and force her to skip the stage. Mysterious also brought up professional terminology. Very impressive. By the way, sister, do you think I need some opening conditions? What is it? Li Chengfeng never forgot his original intention and wanted to become stronger. Killed by the jealous body of heaven. The mysterious tone was calm. What? How could you say such terrible things with a plain expression on your face? Don't be surprised, what the master said, I don't know if it's true or false. Do you really know nothing yourself? Xuanmiao was a little puzzled. Over the years, she has carefully studied various special constitutions, and only this spiritual body has a fast cultivation speed that cannot be explored before awakening. She has not found any clues, so she is not sure if this method can work, but her master said it must work, and there is no need for senior brother Xianwei to deceive her. Li Chengfeng digested the information he had just received and suddenly realized, that is to say, as long as second senior sister kills me once, I can awaken. Is it so easy? There's no need to prepare a ceremony, it feels a bit hasty. No need, just let her kill you. I've already instructed her to find a chance to kill you in the future. No wonder senior sister looks at me so strangely. Didn't you explain to her why you killed me? Li Chengfeng looked at Xuanmiao with a sideways glance. I forgot, oh my, it's very shy to say such a thing to my disciple face for the first time, okay. Xuanmiao patted Li Chengfeng's shoulder to relieve embarrassment. With a bit of strength, Li Chengfeng dodged and mysteriously slammed his hand into the air, ready to fall. Unconsciously, Li Chengfeng pulled it into his arms, his eyes facing each other. Rebellious disciple, what do you want to do? Is it possible for my great cultivator in the three talent realms to fall? Let go. The matter was clear, and the mystery couldn't be pretended anymore. Feeling a bit shy, he pushed Li Chengfeng away. Li Chengfeng spread his hand and looked helpless. On second thought, as the enemy retreats and we advance, it's time to seize the opportunity. Li Chengfeng looked straight at the blushing senior uncle, bullying him and pretending to hug him. Xuanmiao also forgot that he was a great cultivator in the three realms of talent. He could only hold his hands against Li Chengfeng's chest, bite his lower lip, and look at him with sparkling eyes. You, what are you going to do? Sister Xuanmiao, it's getting late, let's take a break too. Li Chengfeng raised his left hand and pressed the ring onto his mysterious lips. Xuanmiao fell down. Xuanmiao regretted telling Li Chengfeng the truth about the ring. This little rascal is not a righteous person, just a small criticism. What kind of good person can Xianwei teach so insincerely? That night, except for not doing anything serious, Li Chengfeng was kissed all over his body, and he played with his feet as he wished. In the end, he even used his feet to hit him. The mysterious look in Li Chengfeng's eyes was full of disgust, but the eldest man was not bound by small details. He could use his feet today, use his hands tomorrow, and dare not think of anything he could use the day after tomorrow. Gradually, his many years of cultivation have made Li Chengfeng's mentality very stable and patient. You're pressing down on my hair. Xuanmiao deliberately found fault. But Li Chengfeng didn't care, I'm sorry, I'll comb your hair tomorrow morning. The mysterious sense that was held in Li Chengfeng's arms reached out and approached the ring, wanting to cry to the master about being unclean, but the master did not open the door. Xuanmiao felt a bit aggrieved. In order for my master to be bullied, he ignored me and couldn't help but reach out to Li Chengfeng's waist, twisting hard. Li Chengfeng's face turned pale with pain, but he had just taken a big advantage of others and couldn't say anything. He could only grasp the mysterious hand. Master, be good, sleep well. Li Chengfeng grabbed Xuanmiao's right hand with his left hand, and then placed the ring on Xuanmiao's lips. Xuanmiao remained still. Little bastard, call me sister. Here's another move. There's no way, take this trick mysteriously. Hee, go to sleep. Humph, feeling the scent of the handsome young man around him mysteriously, his divine sense probed the ring and slowly fell asleep. Chapter 10. What are you avoiding? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. It's early morning again, it's cloudy today, just like a mysterious mood, without any light. Xuanmiao woke up and saw the little rascal again at first glance. This time, he didn't step out immediately. Thinking of last night's incident, he cursed the little pervert in secret, and his blush slowly climbed up his cheeks. Last night, to my surprise, I still feel sticky on my feet now. The more I thought, the more angry I became. Looking at Li Chengfeng, who was sleeping comfortably in front of me, my anger level reached its peak. Another flying kick. What kind of person? Another enemy attack. Mysterious sister. What are you shouting? Call the master. Xuanmiao is allergic to this nickname now. I've been listening to it all night, doing and listening. Master, what's going on? Li Chengfeng didn't sleep well, drowsy-eyed as he climbed onto the bed again. You stop. What's wrong, master? You weren't like this last night, sobered up. You still have the face to mention last night. Get out. Li Chengfeng looked at this and realized that it was really amazing. Raise your left hand and prepare to repeat the old trick. Mysterious eyelids twitched, and this move really hit her soft spot. There was nothing she could do but dodge her sharp edge and wave her hand. Li Chengfeng suddenly felt the sky and earth spinning around, and as he looked up, dark clouds covered him. Oh, he was thrown out. Speaking of which, you even got kicked by me when you knew this move, the great cultivator of the Sankai realm. But so it is. Slag. Li Chengfeng looked contemptuously at the palace gate and walked away. Cold Frost looked at Li Chengfeng in the dark, feeling a bit speechless and more inclined towards this master having a problem. The look in Li Chengfeng's eyes and the contemptuous smile when he left, Cold Frost had seen it before. However, what does it mean when a man comes out and shows this kind of expression when a lonely man and a widow live together in a room for a night? The business scope of Zhenhua Si is very broad. Sometimes, when work requires it, Leng Shuang will also go to the entrance of the brothel to squat. Although it is rare, I have still seen this kind of expression. Leng Shuang now had the urge to rush in and ask her master what was going on, but she restrained herself. The work was not for nothing, it was quite a training experience. Continue to follow my junior brother. If he has any problems, he always shows off. Xuanmiao also noticed Cold Frost outside the door, but her mood was very unstable now and she couldn't face her disciple. She let her go because she felt that this was the little bastard's pot and he should handle it himself. But she completely forgot that she was the one giving orders to her disciple. Oh, woman. Li Chengfeng went to the exchange again with great enthusiasm, dreaming of picking up leeks, but as soon as he entered the door, he remembered and forgot to ask for money. Forget it, let's go practice. It's really just about practicing without any money. Oh, by the way, first find senior sister and speak clearly. Cold Frost, who was following behind, saw him enter the exchange again and just as she wanted to follow, she received a message from Li Chengfeng. Hello, second senior sister, where are you? I have something to tell you. Cold Frost felt that this case was a bit difficult to handle, after all, he had never had such frequent contact with the suspect before. Come to the training ground, the room from yesterday. Okay, then Second senior sister is still so decisive. She hung up before she finished speaking. She walked towards the cultivation field. Training field. Look, it's senior sister Leng. She's still so handsome and spirited. Yeah, but today it was all by herself. That's right, senior sister Leng with a man is completely unimaginable. Opponent, I see that newcomer is a newly recruited disciple of the third elder. I really envy him. What's the use of envy? Is it possible for anyone to become a disciple like the third elder? Don't dream too much. Dreaming is not enough. No, you. Look. Li Chengfeng also came in and politely greeted someone looking at him. The disciples here also responded. Watching Li Chengfeng enter Cold Frost's cultivation room again, the disciples outside felt a bit complicated. So, what were you going to say earlier? It's nothing, I'm going to have 2 drinks. Go and go together. As soon as Li Chengfeng came in, he saw his senior sister driving wooden stakes and smashing them with a long gun, without any sense of beauty. He thought she was sick and tentatively called out, "Second senior sister." Leng Xuan calmed herself down by driving stakes. After all, this time the suspect was different and a little worried. "Junior brother, come here, senior sister, ask you something." Cold Frost put away his spear and sat down next to him. "Does this sound so familiar to you?" "Oh, as senior uncle also said yesterday, it's better to be senior sister and polite." Li Chengfeng also sat down next to him and said, "Excuse me, senior sister. Junior brother must know everything." Cold Frost decided to get straight to the point and said, "What's your relationship with master?" The problem was a bit unexpected, but not too surprising. Knowing his own physical condition, Li Chengfeng wanted to joke with his senior sister. "Senior sister, guess what relationship I have with my master?" Li Chengfeng asked with a smile in his eyes. I have seen this kind of expression before, which is often seen when criminals believe they have a safe chance of winning. Don't be careless. Now it's me asking you again. Habitually, he patted the table and his phoenix eyes glared. Cough cough cough, senior sister, don't you get angry. I said, can't I say it's still okay? Li Chengfeng felt a bit playful and once again refreshed the impression of this senior sister, meticulous and lacking in humor. Cold Frost also had some regrets, but the goal was achieved and the problem was not significant. Speak up. Senior sister, the master should have given you an order. Li Chengfeng calmly said the command that surprised even Cold Frost. Do you know? Cold Frost was a bit incredulous. Yes, I understand. Li Chengfeng explained the issue of physical fitness to Ling Xuan. Surprisingly, such a thing happened. Cold Frost couldn't believe it, as it was a bit outrageous and she had never heard of it before. Yes, if you don't believe it, we can go ask the master. Let's go. Cold Frost is a person without procrastination. The two of them arrived outside the third elder's hall. I beg to see my master. Xuanger, come in and let that bastard Chengfeng wait outside for a while. Cold Frost gave Li Chengfeng a strange glance and pushed the door in. About an hour later, Li Chengfeng was so eager to get inside that Cold Frost hurriedly came out, still tidying up her hair and blushing slightly on her cheeks. What? What have you been doing inside for an hour? Senior sister, why is your hairstyle messy? Why is your face turning red too? Li Chengfeng saw this and remembered 30.6 lesbian short articles. No way, is this kind of relationship between them? Isn't that me? Think about it and feel a little excited. Li Chengfeng forcefully suppressed his curiosity and stepped forward, saying, how about senior sister? I didn't lie to you, did I? Come on, give me some relief. It's best to kill myself with one blow, don't make me feel any pain. Li Chengfeng also felt a little uneasy in his heart, but now that things have come to an end, being too sentimental will not look good. Cold Frost, who had finished tidying up her hair but still had a slightly red face, hesitated and said, Junior brother, it's true as you said, but can you make me prepare? Suddenly doing such a thing, senior sister also needs to be prepared in her heart. Li Chengfeng expressed understanding, senior sister Xing, let's go practice. You are also prepared. Okay. Cold Frost and Li Chengfeng returned to the cultivation room. The disciples who had just finished drinking outside also saw this scene, and their mentality was a bit shattered. How many more drinks? Go and go together, time has arrived in the evening. Li Chengfeng, who had finished his day of cultivation, came to Cold Frost and said, "Senior sister, look at how well I have practiced these 3 techniques. Are they much stronger than yesterday?" Cold Frost was also shocked in her heart. The orifices could be forcefully opened by someone else, although it would cause instability in the foundation, it was indeed feasible. However, this practical technique depends entirely on her understanding. Although it is not a profound technique, it cannot be fully mastered in just one day. My junior brother, is he really a genius? I'm a bit jealous. There's no way, Cold Frost's talent and intelligence can only be considered decent, and it took some effort to practice them back then. Well, it's pretty good, but don't be proud, you know, said Cold Frost weakly. By the way, senior sister, how are you preparing? Come on, Li Chengfeng walked towards Ling Shuang with a calm expression and sincere eyes. Upon hearing these words, Ling Shuang's body instantly tensed. As she watched Li Chengfeng walk step by step, she felt that it was not she who wanted his life, but he who wanted her life. Junior brother, please ask senior sister to prepare for a few more months, no, a few days, just a few days. Cold Frost also sweated a bit, after all, he's not a demon. How could he just take action? Although there have been many criminals killed over the years, could that be the same? Don't be afraid, senior sister. With a close of your eyes, a flick of your sword, and a swish, your head will fall to the ground. Take care of it. Li Chengfeng, like a demon, induced Cold Frost. Grasping Ling Shuang's hand and handing the sword to him, Ling Shuang's heart trembled with this action. The beautiful Danfeng eyes looked at Li Chengfeng with some fear. Come, senior sister, just close your eyes and wave your hand. Li Chengfeng took 2 steps back, opened his hands, and looked straight at Ling Shuang. Cold Frost looked at the sword in her hand, then at Li Chengfeng, took several deep breaths, and finally calmed down. Here comes junior brother. Come on, senior sister. I'm really here. Hurry up, senior sister. You're still waiting for dinner. Ah. Cold Frost let out a coquettish sound and raised her sword to strike, which could be heard outside the cultivation field. What? What is it called inside? Several disciples quietly got closer. I only heard a click inside, the sound of my sword breaking. What are you avoiding? Yeah, what am I hiding from? Li Chengfeng broke out in a cold sweat. Are you asking me? Senior sister, what's your name? It scared me. Li Chengfeng said shamelessly. You. Cold Frost threw down her broken sword, her eyes turning red, and rushed out of the door. Li Chengfeng looked at the broken sword and sighed. Alas, who is not afraid of death? Senior sister, please wait for me. Let's do it again. This time will definitely work. Li Chengfeng chased out. How many disciples are there?